Welcome to the Knowledge Entrepreneurs Show, where we celebrate the innovators driving change in the education industry. At Edison OS, we've worked with over 500 knowledge entrepreneurs to turn their EdTech ideas into profitable businesses. Good afternoon, Dr. Nachiket. Welcome to the Knowledge Entrepreneurs Show. Thank you so much for taking your valuable time out to be here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me here. Love, feeling very happy.
My pleasure, Dr. Nachiket. Dr. Nachiket, I've done as much research as possible about you on the internet. I've read your LinkedIn profile, and I've seen, I've read whatever you've had to write about yourself. But if you can, in your own words, for the sake of our listeners, walk us through your journey up until the point you decided to get into education. I see that you've done your MBBS, but then you chose to teach. So if you can walk us through that journey and what made you take that decision of getting into education, I think that'll be a good starting point.
So basically, I'm an MBBS graduate, and the business that I'm currently running is it's a family business. So what do you say that it's when we say it's a family business, it always it's a president that says that it has gone through many ups and downs. So for me, I was inducted into my MBBS back in 2011.
Right.
At that particular point, my it's a coaching institute. We prepare doctors who are preparing for specialization exam, just like Akash is there in NEET UG. So we were the topmost thing in 2010, 11, 12 in India, having like the majority students. No questions asked. We were the topmost player. 2011, I entered into MBBS. Then there was this incident in 2013 and 14. I don't remember the exact date, where there's a person coming from the competitor side as a salesperson. He entered into my room. I was a student there. So all my friends got around me and we just started talking कि ये institute कैसा है, वो institute कैसा है. And when we got to Bhatia, so the person told me वो तो बंद होने वाला, that it is about to close.
Oh,
I thought he's just making a fool out of me. But somehow I felt something, a weird energy from him. Couple of days again, I made some calls and I realized that that institute that I used to think that was on the peak was on the verge of a breakdown right now. We were like some wrong decisions from the management and everyone. The things were going steeply downhill into, and then I decided I need to, some what do you call the insider people, the
right.
trusted outside family members. So one of them told me कि सर अगर आप अभी नहीं आए ना तो जिसके लिए आप वेट कर रहे हो वो बचेगा ही नहीं. So when I entered, I found out that the students, were leaving us in throngs. And in education, it's a very simple thing. If a single student leaves, he will destroy the next four generations for you. The next year, the student will not come to you. The next year, student will not come to you. And the third year itself, the student will think, "Kya acha, this is also a coaching institute." But the next two generation will be pure no. कि हम नहीं आएंगे, it's a bad reviewed institute.
Right.
So our franchise were leaving us in bundles. Students were decreasing like 30% every year. And even if we had to get into the classes, the negativity was super high. In 17, 18, 19, the company went through a 10 crore rupee loss phase every year. Okay, as a family business, whatever my father had acquired in last 20 years of service, I mean, we were completely finished, about to be bankrupt.
Right.
And then in 2020, I decided to, put everything on stake. I had this house, I put that on mortgage, got a big time loan, and launched the EdTech division of our company.
Right.
And that EdTech division, e-Gurukul, which we call it,
Yeah.
basically anchored us out of the bankruptcy phase. Currently, the business is doing 120 crores of revenue, 30% EBITDA, positive. And by God's grace, we are teaching almost 65,000 students. The name is back in the market and things are going pretty good currently.
Awesome.
So that's the complete story.
Got it, Nachiket. Thank you. May I ask what went wrong for it to come down like that when you had to take over?
So normally this is what happens with every family business. When the business starts growing up, then the management doesn't take
Right.
the corporate step. The family things comes in between, and there's always a big time, you know, inside hustle. There's always ego issues between
Right.
faculty, franchise, and everyone. So you need to get professionals inside,
Right.
which we did not. Okay. Can you imagine like 40 people were handling a 100 crore business at that particular point of time? So that bubble had to break
Right.
at any point of time.
Got it.
So that would happen, simply stating. Okay, currently, like right now, if we are doing 120 CR, then we have at least 230 people, 280 people in the HO, and then at least 200 people on the
Right.
ground managing the show. Okay, so I always believe that very simple mistakes can cost you heavily,
Got it,
and I've
Nachiket.
gone through that phase.
Nachiket, you said you were doing your MBBS, right? And then there was a situation where your family business was on the verge of closing. Now, how did you manage to turn it around? I mean, you don't have any MBA background or any business administration background. Is it just that you grew up in a family of business? Did that help you naturally? Or did you pick up any skills? How did you manage to turn it around?
I think like normally people talk about cartoons over dinner tables. We should talk about business only in my
Right,
on the dinner table. Okay, the whole family vacations were completely based on कि business में क्या चल रहा है, business में अब क्या होगा. So that's how I always knew that,
right,
one day that I have to do business. And when I entered it also, it took me like 4 to 5 years to understand that I was a skillless buffoon. Okay, it was not something that I got it changed myself in a single day or something. It took me 4 to 5 years. And I started working on myself
right.
only in 18 and 19. Till that, I was just trying to manage everything, keep everybody together, and
Okay,
to be very, I was failing big time. Okay, I was not a success. I managed to do things
okay,
like decently, but not more than that. But when in 18 and 19, I learned a couple of skills myself, like digital marketing, data analysis, finance. I understood that if you want to really grow up the business,
right,
then you need a skill which can anchor it up. And for me, it was digital marketing completely. I understood the complete scenario. And when we launched our EdTech
right,
division, COVID happened suddenly. At that particular point, we managed the whole show from here itself. And till you don't know what you are doing, anybody and everybody will make a fool out of you. The digital marketing agencies charge you a huge sum of money, but you're not giving them a complete KRA, you're not giving them a KPI, you're not
right,
getting the results that you plan to achieve. It cultivates frustration inside you कि जहाँ हम पहुंचना चाहते हैं पहुंच ही नहीं पा रहे. So when I understood the whole show, I understood that I could get the work done in half the cost with twice the result. And that would help me. In like 6 months only, we were generating at least 30 crores of sale,
right.
completely digital, all right, on the tech division. So that's what actually inspired me to be. I always believe that skills are the only thing which are, which can really, really help you in entrepreneurship or managing a business. Degrees always take a
Got it.
backseat there.
You said launching of the EdTech division was the game changer for you. And did you launch the EdTech division because of the lockdown and stuff like that? Or the EdTech came even before the pandemic?
Oh no, just the right step at the right moment. That's it. We were planning to
Okay,
launch it since 2019. We did a failed attempt in 2018. Then 2019, we got ourselves better. Then we launched it in
got it.
2019, and that's
Can
what
you,
happened. And COVID happened. It was accidental,
right, it just helped the
nothing to do with
cause.
us.
You were ready for the right
It just
situation
helped the cause.
at the right time. Yeah. But you also,
The God's grace.
tried in 2018 and you failed. Any learnings from there?
Yes, that actually, pushed me to get the skills myself. I was too much dependent on other people before
What
that
exactly went wrong
for
in
everything.
2018? Why did the EdTech launch fail?
We were not prepared. You can call it the project was not streamlined. We were not having any kind of deadlines. We were just like a couple of people getting
Mm-hmm.
together. ठीक है कि करते हैं. All right. कैसे होगा किसी को नहीं पता. ऐप कैसे बनेगी किसी को नहीं पता. बस just कुछ करना था. Desperate attempt था. So we thought we should do it. Okay,
Right.
and none of us were from a technical background. We were just doctors getting together. So we were hardworking people without a plan. In 2019, we actually got a plan,
Got it.
and that was the major
So in
difference.
2018, when you launched the EdTech, which didn't take off very well, now when it comes to online education, there are multiple ways of doing it. One is you create courses and you sell the courses, which are recorded courses. One is you conduct live online classes, or another thing could be, a hybrid model, where you conduct live classes and then you also have recorded courses. So, what was your plan at that point in time? What mode did you take up?
The recorded
Recorded courses.
courses, recorded courses. Our plan was pretty clear that sell cheap recorded courses to the market and go through the masses.
Got it. Did that plan change in
That was the plan.
2019? Okay.
No, we just got it a little bit more technically advanced. We got the app to be more secure, app to be more user friendly, a better UX, better UI. So that was the whole plan in 2019. And at that particular point, the apps were not that much into circulation as well. They were basic apps around. So hardly there was any reference. Today, we can call it eGurukul is a very good reference for all
Okay.
the
Even today,
EdTech apps
you're
out
in
there.
the course model. There's no live training model as such.
And there's a live training also. There's a live training also, but that came in
Right.
2020
Right.
because of
Right.
COVID. All right.
Right.
It was a COVID oriented product. Okay, but e-Gurukul in itself was always considered to be a
Got
recorded
it.
product
So the
only.
pandemic forced you to do live classes in addition to the recorded courses. And
Yes.
the moment we talk about online live classes, there is this whole talk about the infrastructure needed, right? In terms of tech, you need, say, people refer to Zoom, or there are a lot of other things. What was your strategy? Did you go to Zoom, or did you build stuff in house?
No, we built our own stuff inside completely, user friendly, completely made by us. We use the Exo player, okay, and post that we use Video Cipher to maintain the recordings and everything. This is the basic things that we did. Also, we designed the product as if a student is going through it, he or she should be able to be. It was not basic like a general product. First, when we made the product,
Right.
it was to keep medico specific, and then we diversified into other fields. Right now, we are, for example, doing for doctors, then we are doing it for dentists. We plan to do it for more
Got
things
it.
like Ayush, nursing, and everybody. So now our app is a very, very, what you can, any person who wants to study, he or she can utilize our app. So our plans are to make it in various other
Got it.
fields as well.
Nachiket, you said, in 2018, whatever you wanted to do did not take off because you didn't have professionals, nor did you have skills. In 2019, you upskilled yourself, and you must have probably outsourced your digital marketing in 2018, and you must have probably realized that nothing is working, and you must have gotten yourself. What were your biggest learning as far as digital marketing was concerned? What were the things that you believed were true but turned out to be complete myths and false in 2019?
I think in 2018, the lack of planning that I had was the biggest source of frustration for me. Okay, you think because there was no KPIs that we could have given it to them. So what happened was that तुम एक बंदे को कहते हो ना कि मेरी वीडियो आई है इसको वायरल कर दे अब what is the definition of viral? It can be 10 views, it can be 10,000 views, it can be 1 million views. So in that time our frustration was always that why could it not have been better? Okay, we did not know the limits of what could have been done. So in 2019, we made KPIs that okay, if we start the business, that this is the thing that we are eyeing for. This is our target. If we get to this target, then it's a moment of achievement, a moment of celebration rather than frustration. Okay, a very simple, you know, uh, what do you call very simple change of approach helped us be better in that. And of course, when you're happy inside, everything feels good for you. So in 18 and 19, the frustration was super like high for me. Everything that I did, I was always frustrated कि यार कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा अच्छा. Even that product that we did, although it was a failed product, but it was a profitable product.
Okay.
Okay, we were not in a loss. It gave us a good profit itself. But For us, it was a failed product because the heights that we had thought कि एक दिन
Right.
इतना बड़ा बन जाएगा,
Right.
that did not happen. Okay, so this was what I would call a very big blunder from our side, which we
Got
actually
it.
rectified in
Despite being
2019.
profitable, you're calling it failed because they didn't meet your expectations, basically, in terms of sales. Got it. And the only, so you still
Exactly.
outsourced in 2018 also, you outsourced in 2019 also, but then you were able to direct the vendors properly into it.
No, in 2019 it was in-house. 2019, 20, 21 it was
Entire
completely
digital
in-house.
marketing team was in house, and that was headed by you.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you go about building the
Yes.
team for digital marketing? In terms of hiring, in terms of, what are the roles that you split your team into?
Basically, one person for ads, one person for Facebook and posting and everything, one person for user engagement, one person to manage overall, one person for SEO. That's how we basically manage the whole team. No, there's
Right.
always a problem in the start when you're building something. But once things get into the motion, then automatically everything
Got
starts
it.
happening.
And you started off
It's not
directly
a big
with paid
problem.
marketing. It was not organic to start off with.
No, no, it was always organic. When the first things are organic, then the paid
Got it.
actually
And
gives you result.
what are the social media platforms that you're majorly present as far as India is concerned? Oh, not Facebook.
Instagram and YouTube. Facebook has doesn't have that kind of engagement anymore. We do things on Facebook, it's traditional, but Instagram and YouTube are the two main
Got it.
sources right now.
Uh, as far as so, if you have to take a split, say between organic and paid, is there even a comparison, or majority of your ads now that you're established, majority of your sales comes from paid ads itself?
Paid ads do have their own advantages. See, paid ads do have their own advantages because Facebook and Instagram, they have
Okay,
basically stopped promoting organically. Okay, yeah, their algo doesn't promote anything
right,
organically because, of course, they are into the revenue business also.
right,
Ads are the major source of business. So if you really want things to grow organically, you need to work on your live presence, like Insta Live, YouTube Live, how
all
many
right,
people you can get on these. Those are your
got it,
basic organic numbers. All right. If you are able to get those, like 1,000 people can see you live, then those 1,000 people are your
right,
prospective buyers
right.
sitting in front of you. You can sell anything to them. Otherwise, you have to depend upon the paid
Got
ads
it.
and everything.
And today, now that you're settled, what are the challenges as far as tech you still do face in DBMCI?
Challenges of tech are always ever increasing. With the new, we are not an investor funded company. So that is always a pro and a con. The con is that the people demand what they see in the market. If they see an app like a super app like Unacademy, they
Right,
demand
right,
that your app should have this. Now, you don't have that kind of money to pour into like every small feature. The pro is that you learn how to make profit. Okay, if you're not an investor funded company, you get to know okay that कि वो आटे दाल का भाव क्या है. Okay, I know I have distributed pamphlets outside exam centers. I know not a single employee of mine can actually make a fool out of me. I know the importance that a 50 paisa pamphlet can get you at least a 50,000 rupee admission. I know how to get it. All right. So this is the advantage of being a non-investor funded company, and the tech is always a challenge where you think that if you have more money, you can
got it,
always do
Nachiket.
better things.
And how do you
It's still
handle these
there.
objections? When students come, these days students they know they do crazy market research, and when they come and talk to you, they always talk about other products, what's better, what's not, and stuff. How do you handle these objections?
So basically, I give every student of Bhatia my personal WhatsApp number. So I tell them I'm the main customer care agent and they can talk to me. So I tell them, and I always, I am very honest with them. So I tell them I'm not an investor funded company. That's why I do not have this feature. But the basics that are required for them to study, that I'm providing. So many a times they understand. Okay, it's a basic human nature. And one person who does not understand, who wants their money back, it's a simple money back from our side. We can't stop your education just because you're not happy with us. You better go learn somewhere else where you are happy. That's a
Got
simple
it, Nachiket.
philosophy.
Nachiket, as of now, it's been since your transformation from 2020, it's been about 3 years now. Are you back to classroom training, or are you going completely online?
No, no, absolutely. Our major business right now,
Oh,
60% is
right.
coming from
So there is
classroom
still
training.
demand for classroom training.
Yeah, we have. Oh, the demand is actually higher for classroom teaching right now. We have made the highest number of batches in our 27 years of history this
Got
year.
it. But in terms of, so I understand that you need to cater to whatever the students want. Obviously, the students want to come to classroom and learn. But in terms of your efforts and overheads and stuff, if it's going online, it's going to be way more easier for you, probably in terms of efficiency. Have you Do you strategize in terms of how to increase your online presence as well, purely online?
We do. We have two separate divisions working in the same company. One focuses
Got it.
completely online, one focuses on offline. And the whole point is that if you think about online, online is the only
Right.
way to reach the last person on earth. All right. Offline is always limited because of
Yeah.
distance, area, and everything. Online is the way to reach the last student of
Right.
earth. So online is always will exist, but offline has its own presence in the market. All right. Offline, the students who are really serious, who want their own dedication, motivation in the classes, offline always will have that kind of number and they will be coming to study with us. Online is a different game altogether. So we have a different strategy team for online who focuses completely how we can reach that last person, how we can create a market ecosystem where the student should always come to Bhatia to learn from eGurukul.
Got it.
So
And
we do keep working on that.
recorded courses, it's clear, it just doesn't mingle with your classroom training, or there is no overlap. But when it comes to live interactive classes online, do you have a separate division for that, or do you stream your live classes itself for online students as well? Oh,
No,
wow.
it's a third division that's working.
Got it. And
Yeah.
in your journey, where you turned around your business from almost closing to the point where you're making 120 crore revenue, you know, if you have to share to aspiring entrepreneurs some of the lessons that you learned, what would those be?
Upskill yourself as much as you can because here nobody's going to come to nobody's coming for you, nobody is there for you, nobody cares for you. All right, you have to motivate yourself every day. I mean, I have days where I feel demotivated, completely useless, and you have to decide how to motivate yourself. You have to decide what makes you happy, and don't shy away from having grand dreams. I mean, my biggest
Right.
motivation is that I want to buy a new car every year. So I work so that I can buy that car. Might sound childish, might sound selfish, but it is there. All right. If you plan to be, I mean, I don't know how it is, but you need to have dreams. If you're a businessman, you need to have dreams where you can change the world, where you can do something which nobody can ever imagine. The whole ideation should never be to make the money, it should be to change the world. Because if you can do that, money will follow you all around. It's not going anywhere. And third, I mean, your finances should be your biggest asset. Your financial knowledge should be your best skill because nobody is going to care about your finances. It is in your hands and you have to manage those. और जुगाड़ आना चाहिए. If you are that jugadu kind, I believe that you can do anything in this whole world. So I always believe these are the few things that every
Got it.
entrepreneur
Since you
should
spoke
know.
about finances, right, you said there was a situation where you mortgaged your house, and you can't do such things without the
Yeah.
support of your family and the close ones, right? And also there is an element of risk. You've succeeded.
No, my family was
Wow.
super against
Okay.
it.
So you believe that you didn't have any doubt that things might go south. Or was it that did you have a backup plan if things did not go according to the way you thought?
No backup plan, no other thing. It was the only
So Nachiket, we were talking about the time when you mortgaged your house, right? Your family, I thought you were going to say your whole family was supportive of your action, but then later I realized you said they were all against yours. How did you, what did you
See,
convince them for
see,
that
they were
decision?
they were not wrong on their part. A young reckless person is telling them to mortgage kar do apna ghar. So imagine that kind of stupidity happening. So even if my son tells me that, I would have shut up and fuck off. I would say that thing to him.
Right,
They were not wrong. They were coming to me because we were at a very down, at a very bad stage at that particular point. That house was everything that we had. So at
right,
that particular point, even my chacha told me that tu pagal and that what you are doing right now is very wrong. Which I understood that it was. If you ask me right now, it's a correct step. What they were
right,
doing. I was a reckless. So now
right,
I have a success story, but that doesn't make it a right step at that particular point.
right.
So I had no backup plan. I had nothing. It's just like this was the only work that I thought I could do. For the last
Got it.
6, 7 years, I was doing this thing only. It wasn't the skill that I had. It was just that brand name, that business that we were running. So I only knew how to work on that.
Right.
So if you ask me if it was a reckless move, I would say it was a big reckless move from my side.
So it is a risk that worked out luckily for you. That's how
Absolutely,
you would say.
absolutely.
Got it. And Nachiket, when you came back and when you tried resetting things, and of course it did take off well, right? You said digital marketing was one of the most important things. From a product perspective, were there any changes that you had to bring about? Was a product outdated when you came in? Did you make changes to those things as well?
To be very frank, the product was too much diversified when I entered. All right.
Okay,
The management in the HO was not holding much power. I wouldn't say power, the basic rights to do things. We were into a franchise business which was spread across the country.
right,
So the whole thing was that when I entered into the business, it took me 8 to 9 years to actually understand everything that was happening. There were too many traditions that were going on. And
right,
finally, when we entered into the EdTech business, we managed to get everything on one single board, one single table. So
right.
after then, getting the company to flow in the same stream was easier. Otherwise, it was 10 different minds working in 10 different directions, and I was the one trying to manage them all. You know, after a while, it gets very tough to get everybody together.
Got it.
So that was a difference that EdTech actually made.
Got it. So if they were, let's say they were focusing on 10 different things, you had to choose one thing to focus on, right? That was again a bet that you had to make. What was that bet you made?
I would say
What
that
did you decide to leave out?
I won't say that I had to leave out something. It was basically that everybody was focusing on protecting their own area. So we had different franchise partners. All right, so everybody
Right,
was
right, right,
trying to
right,
protect their
right.
own area and not the company. They were right
Got
on their part. But after EdTech, everybody got together to push the company forward.
it. Right,
They found a single focus. They found a purpose.
right.
So this was a single thing which actually changed the whole ideology. It got from I to me, sorry, ours and everything. This changed.
Got it. Did this impact your franchisee model?
Oh no, it made them better.
Oh, okay. Now, I just have a doubt, Nachiket. Now, you went, I understand when it comes to classroom training, your franchisee model, how it works is completely understandable. Now, when you go edtech, everything's online, correct? Students
Yeah.
can go to your website and buy it online. So, how do franchisees get this share? Do you have affiliate links? How do they get attributed to the sales that happen from your website?
So basically, we have divided the area based on the franchise that they have taken. So if there's a
Okay.
franchise, for example, Bhopal, then the Bhopal franchise would get the share of every EdTech product sold in that area.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
So we have created
But
this kind of
they're not
ecosystem.
putting any effort there, right? The
No, they are
franchise.
putting the efforts there. So we have divided. If there's an indirect sale, there's a less share. But if there's a direct sale, then there's a higher share.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. And another thing that I wanted to ask you was, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. One second. So, as an aspiring medical student today, right? MBBS was a huge thing, say 2 decades back or 3 decades back. Even then, somebody had to do a specialization in MD. Now, today, when I go to Twitter and especially the medicos talking, they say that, until the age of 40, they are studying, and only after 40 years, they kind of get to specialize and start a profession, start earning, start working. So, what would your advice be to today's aspiring MBBS people? What should they aim for?
I mean, aim for the specialty, guys. Don't focus on the college, aim for the specialty. If you get the specialty that you love, you will do wonderful in that particular profession. Because don't focus on, even if you're from AIMS and you don't like the profession, you are not going to put your heart into it. And that's what is required. And right now, doing super specialty is a must now. Like 5 years back, doing PG was not necessary. Okay,
Right.
I mean, 10 years back, doing PG was not necessary. 5 years back, doing PG became necessary. And now, doing super specialty will is a necessity. Before you think of doing a job, try studying as much as you can. Once you get into the job, then getting the books and sitting down together again becomes a difficult task. All right. So try to study as much as possible before you enter into the professional world. And you are in a wonderful profession, guys. So try to do some kind of charity. I do this thing too. I teach almost 1,000 students every year, completely free, who are EWS. So if you can help out a person for free, I think you are doing something good in the world. Apart from you are doing good in the world, but that's something extra. That's what
Got
I
it.
believe, for a doctor.
Got it. An MBBS journey roughly starts at the age of 18, 19 years, right? And then 5 years, and then specialization. Now you're telling super specialization. At what age can a doctor aspirant, achieve to settle down realistically with a
See,
super specialization?
a doctor can earn very well if even if he gets plain MBBS. All right, a doctor tries to study more to be better at his profession to do better service to the people. So, a doctor can settle whenever he wants. Okay, this is just a height of academic excellence, which is
Got it.
never achieved, which is like never satisfied. You can never be satisfied with how good you are. So this is a very personal opinion to everyone, but I believe that if after PG you can very well go and settle anywhere in the whole country.
Got it, Nachiket. And you said an important point. You said don't go behind the reputation of an institute, but go wherever you're able to specialize in the interest of yours, whatever you're interested, despite the reputation of the institute. Right. Today, what are some of the specializations that were not even in the scene 10 years back? Today, it's the most sought after, according to you.
See, there are the traditional branches, conventional branches, medicine, surgery, which are always in demand. Then we have radiology, the topmost one, orthopedics, dermatology. But these days, PSM is one. PSM and psychiatry are taking a big time. Uh,
Sorry, can you please say what is PSM?
PSM is community medicine.
Okay,
Community medicine and psychiatry. Psychiatry, I always feel that it has a very good scope in the upcoming future
right.
because people are looking for therapies, multiple types, and they are looking for some help. So, looking at how the mental, people are getting to know about the mental peace, the mental distress. They want to know more. They want to get themselves more educated on this thing. And psychiatrists are doing pretty much good in the foreign countries as well as now in India. So psychiatry is a very good upcoming branch. So I think these are the major branches.
Got it. And what do you have to say to, or rather, what are the advantages or disadvantages of? There are a group of people that go to Russia, especially Russia, to do their medicine, right? What's your take on that?
So that's an MBBS course that they do in Russia and everything. I think that's a different. I think it's a good course. It's not something bad. Basically, I can't comment on this. Comment on those courses.
Okay, but they do get to come back to India and be doctors.
Yes, they can very well come back to India, give the FMG license examination, and then practice medicine in India.
Got it, Nachiket. And as far as the help that you offer PG students in their super specialty journey, What are the different courses that you're offering? Do you have courses for all of the super specializations?
We are preparing our super specialty courses for NEET SS. All right, we are basically preparing for medicine and surgery specialties, and we
Okay,
will be launching them soon in a couple of months.
got it. And when it comes to the medium of communication, right, the language used, India is a country where there is different languages. English is just one aspect. There's vernacular. Are you focusing on vernacular as well? If yes, how many languages are you in?
No, we are focused majorly on English, and the second medium we use is English.
Okay. Do you have plans on going completely, say, totally Hindi or
No,
other languages? You don't even have that plan in the future. Got it.
complete. We are focusing on these two languages only.
Got it. Got it, Nachiket. Nachiket, I think whatever I wanted to discuss with you, any questions that I had, I think I've put it in front of you. And thank you so much for
Thank you
answering a
so
lot of
much.
them.
Thank you so
It was a
much.
pleasure talking to you.